I just got three things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
So we want to thank you tonight for these mighty machines that you brought before us. Thank you for the Dodges and the Toyotas. Thank you for the Fords. And most of all, we thank you for Roush and Yates partnering to give us the power that we see before us tonight. Thank you for GM Performance Technology and the R07 engines. Thank you for Sunoco Racing Fuel and Goodyear tires that bring performance and power to the track. Lord, I want to thank you for my smoking hot wife tonight, Lisa. My two children, Eli and Emma, or as we like to call them, the Little E's. Lord, I pray you bless the drivers and use them tonight. May they put on a performance worthy of this great track. In Jesus' name, boogity, 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 amen.
Welcome back, everybody, for another episode of RR After Dark. I am your host, Nick Alves, driver number 24, Coastal Financial Ford Mustang now this year, thank you. Joining me today is Trevor Keith, driver number 15, KSX Racing Graphics Ford Mustang. Also with me today is Trevor Earhart, driver number 41, Black Rifle Coffee and Earhart Enterprises Chevy Camaro. And lastly is Justice Murphy, driver number 12, All About Bugs Chevy Camaro. Tonight we got a good one for you guys. We just did our duels last night, so we get to talk about our duels. We get to talk about a new series, not technically a new series, but a new broadcasted series that we do on Monday nights, which is our truck series, and we'll do a little bit of our Daytona 250 preview. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Actually, firstly, we're going to thank our sponsors like we always do, because we are very grateful for all of our sponsors. Our main sponsor, Chapman Environmental Services. Chapman is your source for environmental solutions. Chapman provides integrated environmental management and consulting services. You can find them on chapmanes.com. That's chapmanes.com. All right. Who wants to start us out today? I'm going to go eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Justice, thank you very much, sir. We are going to do, we had two tools yesterday. So if everyone doesn't know what the Daytona Duels are, it's essentially the NASCAR equivalent because we follow everything that the real life NASCAR does. The Duels is what we use to set our lineup for the Daytona 500. In this case, it's the 250 because we do 50% of real life NASCAR lengths. So just like in the actual duels, the top two qualifiers start on the front row. They lock themselves out. Everybody else, how they finish in the actual dual heats is how they go on from third to 40th or however many cars show up. So lucky for me, I didn't matter because I got to qualify second, and Travis Gilbert ended up getting pole. So Justice, I know you were in duel
I was in duel
two. Two. Okay.
Mhm.
TK, you were in duel one.
I was in duel one.
He was in duel one. And TK, do you want to start us out with what happened at duel one? Because it was pretty big for you.
I think the best thing to do is to start at the end, right?
Yeah, of
Because
course.
I won the damn thing. No, and it was pretty relaxed race in duel one for a long time. I think it was more of a feel out process. First race back in the next gen cars. I know we did the Gen 4 thing, but that's not the cars that we drive. And people are trying to feel it out. The draft package is a little different this year, so it kind of strung out single file for a long time. And then we had a caution and almost strung out single file again. And then the second row started to come, and then we had another caution, and that's when me, Tyler, and Jacob took over the top lane and kind of led the last 3 laps of the race. But yeah, I mean, it was a lot of fun, and it was just being patient the whole race. I was just sitting there in fourth, I think, for most of the race in single file, just waiting to take by the laps.
Yeah,
Um,
I think you were actually out of all four of us, you're the only one in Heat 1.
yeah,
And from watching from above, because I was spotting for Rob, who is it?
Rob
Rob,
Bennett
Bennett,
and
Alex
and
and Bennett,
Caleb.
or
no
Bennett and
Caleb.
Caleb. Yeah,
Yeah,
Caleb, not
and
Alex was in there.
it was funny because your duel, like you were saying, most of the time was single file throughout the whole
Yeah,
thing, and you guys had a couple of cautions, and you guys were the only ones that ended up with a green white checker, but the amount of uh how do I say this nicely without throwing him under the bus? Uh, Hecticness, I guess, in the voices of Bennett and Rob because they ended up in like the back half of the field single
they
file.
couldn't go anywhere.
No, they couldn't. They kept getting
Because
out
the
of
top
line
lane
trying to
kept
side
trying to
draft people and they
form,
couldn't.
kept trying to form, and it just could never work.
No.
Once the bottom lane got single file, it was they couldn't get enough cars up there to build a run, and then people would just bail because you got to wait to build the momentum, and people would just bail on it
Hmm.
because it wasn't going anywhere,
Yeah.
and they kind of panicked on it.
The thing that
Uh,
helped them was the caution in the end, so you could actually get doubled up in the end and actually have a shot
yeah,
at it. And but yeah, Bennett wasn't too happy. He's starting tail end. He kind of
and
got fucked off at the because he lost the draft. I forget something happened. He had to check up and he ended up back there. But Duel 2 was pretty cool. I
Duel
mean,
2 was a lot more
for
exciting.
for us, yeah,
They got to watch the film, and then they kind of knew how to make the top lane work a little better um, after they watched us do it at the end of the race,
yeah.
and they knew how to keep it double file, really.
Yeah, I know Duel 2 started out
with a
Trevor,
bang,
yeah, I was gonna say
literally.
Trevor.
God,
Trevor
yeah.
took the lead right away, and I even mic'd up to Rob and Ben. I'm like, did I do something wrong? They're like, no, Top's just more formed than you guys, and they just drove away. I'm like, all right. So yeah, so Trevor and my ex-trader teammate Matthew Robinson shot out right in front of me, and it was nice sailing. I was like, this is cool. I'm third in line on the bottom. This is actually where I want to be. I'd rather be on the bottom, so if something happens in front of me or wreck, I can just bail out low. But I did not realize the first incident that was going to happen was directly in front of me with Matthew Robinson blowing a motor on lap 2. So that was pretty cool. But luckily, hats off to everybody in Duel 2 from second on back. When he did blow the motor, he immediately realized what happened, went low as much as he could. We were in the corner, so it made it even tougher. But Carter, I think it was Carter, was directly behind me. He knew exactly. He let off. He went around me, and it was hats off to everybody in Duel 2 for not
Yeah, that
causing a
was
wreck
big.
on that one. So that was really cool. So
That was big for
yeah.
Matt too, because I know he went a lap down after that, but he didn't get the car wrecked. Went in, took his fast repair,
Hmm.
came back out track, got the caution he needed, came back on the lead lap, and was in contention for the win at the end of the race.
I will say two
Yeah.
things. Matthew
So that
Robinson, one, he's lucky it happened in
very heads
turns
up.
3 and 4, and two,
Yep.
Matthew Robinson showed a lot of patience, and he could have been a little bit of a, let's
He could
say,
have panicked
a
there and
dick.
He
caused a
could
big
have
one.
he could have Ross Chastain the
Well,
field.
that's what I was
Yeah.
going to say. He wasn't a dick
Yeah.
when we came back around to lap him. He got out of the way, and
Oh
luckily
yeah.
enough, he didn't cause any instances. But actually, he got lucky because I think there was a caution maybe a lap or two after that guy's lap back, and then he was right
Yeah, he
back
couldn't. He
with
tried to
us.
latch on the back and couldn't. And yeah, he was like half a track behind. And yeah, it was
Then
toast.
I think there were some internet issues that caused the caution, if I'm not mistaken.
was.
But
It was Carter.
Carter
yeah, I mean, it
blinked
was.
out at like the start finish line and blinked back in and won
Yeah,
it
he
too.
was
It
like
was
Kyle Nahn
crazy.
Jr.
And
He
he
was
was
the magic
sideways
man.
when he
Now you see me?
blinked back in.
Now you don't.
Yeah, he-
It was a great start to the second duel. I mean, Justice and I helped TK, Tyler, and Jacob there in the first
Oh yeah.
heat. Kind of the new team, new communication, kind of like you were doing for Robin Bennett, Nick. It was kind of getting the communication down, and communication was great for the first lap and a half of Duel 2, and then I just hear Matt go, "I blew the motor."
I blew it up.
And then here comes everybody by me on the outside. I was like, all right, cool. To the back I go. But Duel 2 is a little bit chaotic. We had a handful of on-track cautions. One, I think a couple due to internet issues. I know I got blinked through a couple times. It scared the crap out of me.
Yeah, there's one time I told you got lucky because Carter was inside your car at
Yeah,
one point, and you didn't take any damage because of Carter's issues.
yeah, it scared the crap out of me. The ending of our duel was
Crazy.
chaotic.
It was
And Justice
chaotic.
Justice can touch on that, but to TK's point, yeah, Matt gets back in contention, and he and Justice had a chance to go on and win it, but chaotic turn four exit ends in calamity for those two, unfortunately.
Yeah, we had the restart, and it was like we were lined up. Matt was telling me he's going to pick wherever I picked. I told him I was probably going to follow Alex. Like Alex and I have a history together. The supers kind of working well, no matter which of us is on which end, pushing or leading. So, excuse me. I just got behind Alex. Matt was behind me. We got a chance to get a run on like Kevin and Devin, who were leading. Jumped out, got up top, and we were hauling. We took
Hmm.
the white flag. I kind of locked bumpers with Alex, and at that point, we were just kind of there. And I made it clear I'm like, I'm going to push him as far as I can until we've got to make a move. Came off a four, and I think we needed to make the move either I don't know, half a second earlier or half a second later to delay Kevin's run a little bit or to kind of stymie his run. Unfortunate, we got down there. Alex tried to block me. It caused us to make contact. He half spins, and then next thing I know, I'm backed into the inside wall when we went down to block Kevin. So, unfortunate, Kevin ends up taking the win there. Of everybody, I wish I'd have wrecked Kevin too. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh,
You did the teammate thing because you waited for Matt to be clear also, whereas you could have
Mhm.
been, I would say, selfish and you would have been more safe, I guess you could say, if you waited for Kevin to kind of get side by side with Matt, then you would undercut Alex, you would force Kevin to bump you, so but no, yeah, it was a circumstance of super speedway racing when you guys both went down. Kind of you bumped Alex. Alex almost timed the block perfectly, but just was a hair late on it. So it kind of
Mhm.
got you and Matt both sideways, and then Kevin didn't square Matt and then it caused Matt to get into you. He didn't hit you squares, and you both got sent spinning. So just another last lap super speedway wreck that you don't want to be involved in.
Well, I'll touch up on that too. Like with the duels, you're setting your position, right? You're setting yourself up for the 250. Well, you want your teammate right behind you, right? In that row. So it's kind of do I do it myself? But now my teammate's two cars behind me when we start the race instead of, well, now my teammate's right behind me. Or now in their case, they're in the back of their row, wherever they are. And maybe they're
I
in
back of the
started
seventh
field,
spot.
30th,
baby.
brother. Yeah,
He's in the back.
So it's kind of one of those two things. You just try to pick which one you want to do. And
it's a lesser of two evils, right?
yeah.
There you want to go for the win, and that was the thing I told Matt. I said I could push. I mean, I could have pushed Alex all the way to the line. We'd have finished Alex, me, Matt, the inside row wouldn't have got us because I was squared up, locked on Alex, and Matt was squared up with me. So, I mean, we were free to go. Yeah, we see your. They called that a vape on the.
What is
It's
that,
a
Nick?
gas can.
Yeah, it's
It's
a
a gas
gas
can.
can
Oh,
water bottle. They said
Jesus.
Jeremy
Oh.
Burns has a fuel can vape, and I'm like, he's probably got the water bottle. But anyway, yeah, I don't know what Bradley and them were seeing, but
Burns
anyway,
puffing the clouds, dude. Got
puffing,
the
yeah,
I think
puffing,
they
yeah,
have
got
him
the
and
cotton
Alex
candy
confused.
clouds.
yeah.
Oh,
But yeah, could
Alex's
have.
isn't cotton candy. All right, we all know what
Yeah,
Alex's
Oh yeah.
is.
yeah. But yeah, could have pushed Alex all the way there. But you make decisions to try to win there. You know, we had LFM go 1, 2, 3 and duel one. That also was kind of one of those things. I'm like, if they go 1, 2, 3 and then I win this duel, like the storylines for that are incredible. You know, and
Yeah.
we nearly basically locked out second through seventh. You know, by about 2 inches. If we clear Kevin just slightly quicker, we're kind of up there with the between the Alliance and the LFM boys.
Yeah, no, it's always good to start next to your teammates. But I think it was a great let's say rehearsal for all the new teams that got formed too. Like I know last
Absolutely.
week we had the Gen 4 clash, but it's not the same because the cars don't handle the same, right? And we're not used to those. So it was cool to be with everybody, even though technically we all got split 50-50, but it was still nice to be wound up in a pack with guys talking. And I actually thought it was better because you actually had guys. I don't know how many you guys had for you, but we had three out of the car for each duel. So it was nice to have people in the car talking and outside of the car talking to get that extra set of eyes of what was going on. So it was more informative, I would say, for next week. So, but we'll leave it at that with as much information without giving anything away from what we learned and what we were talking about. But
Yeah, we had the 4-3 split with our 7. We're not gonna have an 8th next week with Daniel taking a pretty crazy suspension that we were discussing before we came on camera. But yeah, we were split 4-3, so it was nice because it kind of lets you know who your leaders are in that scenario when you're going into super speedway racing. If you're working with other people, like multiple teams, and you've got say 8, 10 people in a chat, you need to know who the vocal leaders are.
mhm,
And I thought that our team did a pretty good job. We've tried to establish that through the off season with some work we've done. So uh, I think that we did a really good job last night. It was really concise. Appeared that we were kind of all on the same page.
that's good. So next topic I want to bring up, we're actually going to have two people nominated for this. We're going to go to Nick's sixth place of the week. And lucky winners are for heat number or duel number one will be
Oh
Dylan
shit.
Picklesheimer. So congratulations. And
Pickles.
the winner for duel number two, yes,
This
he's in
guy.
this chat. He is
This guy.
bald. He's over down to the left. It's Trevor Earhart. So
Oh damn it.
yeah, so luckily I have not gotten my own award yet. We'll see when that day comes. So hopefully it's pretty soon, or hopefully not, because I rather finish above six this entire season. But we'll see what happens. So
We need to
actually,
write this down. See who gets the most Nick Alf's
I
PC
Nick
actually
awards.
do.
Alves
I
Awards.
actually
He
do
has it.
have it.
Yeah,
I
he
will
Okay.
has
be
it.
writing it down throughout the
Because
year, and
I
there will be
hope
a
that
there'll
you
be
get
an
it the
end of
most.
year winner. There will be an end of year winner.
Listen, if Nick gets it the most again, that would be
Yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah. The
That'd be
most
It,
the
hilarious.
most I've ever gotten in a single year was 11. Okay,
that was
11
so
sixth place
dumb.
finishes. It was incredible.
That was
So,
so dumb. And that was in a shortened season. That wasn't even in like our
Yeah.
full, because this is only the second year that we're
Yes.
following the full schedule. So
yeah.
yeah, that was in a shortened
Yeah, it
season. That
was
was
yeah, it
This will be
wasn't
our
crazy.
even
third year.
36 rate. I think it was like 20,
It was like
25,
Yeah, it was like
26 or
20.
25
something like that.
races.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
crazy.
I know I don't know if you guys have the sheet in front of you, but I know I put the truck series, but I rather talk keep the cup series going for a little bit here, and then we can switch gears to the truck series because I think the most talking points we're gonna have is that fun little exercise we're gonna do here. So
Yeah,
what I'm gonna pull up here in a second, I'm gonna let all the viewers that aren't listening or viewing on YouTube. What we're gonna do here in a second is we're gonna use a wheel and credit to Jeremy Burns for giving me this idea. It was a great idea. We're going to use a random wheel generator with all 35 names of the qualified guys that are in the Daytona 250. And one by one, we're going to spin, and whoever it lands on, we're going to give our pitch of why we think they're going to win the race. And if you land on yourself, we're just going to spin again, and unfortunately, you just won't
Dang
get
it.
picked. Yeah,
oh, come
unfortunately. Yeah.
on. That's
You want to
tough.
hype you want to help hype
I want to
yourself
hype
up?
Yeah, I
myself
want to
Yeah.
up,
hype
All
man.
right.
myself
Yeah,
All
I
right.
was
up.
You can.
putting
All right. Fine.
30s,
Fine.
Nick. I
You guys
mean,
can get two spins then. If someone gets themselves, hype yourself up, and then we'll spin again, and you talk about somebody else again.
fair.
So let me grab this and let me go live so you guys can see this. Hold on. Here. All right.
Oh, I have to watch it.
You guys
There
can
we
see
go.
this, right?
Yeah, there it
Yep,
is.
good to go.
Okay. Perfect. All right. So who would like to go first?
I'll take it.
All right.
Oh,
Give it
Ju-
to me.
Justice
step it up.
Murphy. Let's see who Justice Murphy is going to talk about. Call did message me and said it'll be hilarious if it lands on him and you have to hype him up. So Morgan Cook.
Morgan Cook. Oh, hey,
Oh, okay.
For some
that's
reason, I thought it was Blake
that
Cook,
couldn't
and I'm
get
like,
any
this is gonna be
easier.
hard.
Oh, Blake Cook would have been
Yeah,
ridiculous.
that
Come
would
on
been
now.
funny.
All right.
Uh,
So Morgan starting ninth. I think you game plan to stay up front. If you're Morgan, just kind of make your moves around that fuel strategy, things like that. I think he's got some teammates kind of starting close enough around him, like Justin Ritchie starting 14th. Dakota 19th. You can kind of game plan to get your
Kevin's.
guys together.
They got that alliance with
Um,
Kevin too.
they've got the alliance with Kevin. Kevin's in fourth. So yeah, he's gonna have plenty of opportunity. Kind of keep it up front, do what he wants. Morgan last night I think had a little bit of a struggle, sucked up to a few cars. I know he managed to spin, I believe Reed at one point. But you're gonna have that in the super speedway racing. These guys are all rookies. Morgan and those guys not rookies at driving the car, just rookies in this series, and I think that there's a good chance you see that 51 machine parked in victory lane.
A
Awesome.
rookie
Okay.
did win it last year.
Yep.
That's well with circumstances, but yes, a rookie did win it last season.
Well,
Well, last year. Who I'm gonna go last, so TK, well what Trevor wants to go next?
Okay.
I'll take it. Oh,
Okay.
you go ahead,
TK.
buddy.
Okay, I'll go.
Just go ahead.
Oh, we're going bald. All right, here we go.
Oh,
We're on ball. Hold on. Let me turn in, tune in.
Okay.
I've never wanted somebody to land on Joseph Joya quite
Oh, I
like
thought it
that.
landed on Burns for a
Oh
second.
no, it's because I
was
removed
like,
Cook.
I was like, oh, here
All
we
right,
go.
here we go. This is
Gotta
for
figure out
Trevor
what Burns
Earhart
is gonna
to
win.
hype someone up. Who is
Get
it?
myself.
It'll
Get
be
myself.
hilarious.
Oh, I
It's gonna
almost
be
got
Tyler,
Tyler.
baby.
It's
Let's
gonna be
go.
Tyler.
You got
Let's
Tyler
Let's
Harrison.
God, dude, I thought I was gonna get TK or Kevin. So Tyler's got a good shot at this. He comes over to Justice's team and showed last night in the duel that he can work well with those guys and communicates well. Push TK to the winning duel one, and those guys are gonna be starting in a line to next week. So it'll be TK Harrison and Jacob, and I think as long as he can stay up front get through the pit cycles pretty well. If he works as well with the team and in the draft as he did last night, I think he's got a shot to win it. The unspoken rule of thumb is your teammates until the last lap, and then as long as you don't wreck your teammate coming to the line, it's all all hands or all the gloves are off. I guess is the right word. Just don't wreck your teammate. So excited to see what Tyler can do. I think he's got a really good chance. I think he starts. What will that be? Fifth on Wednesday.
Yeah, he'll be
So
fifth. Yeah.
yeah, Tyler's got a really good shot at this.
All right.
I reiterated that sentiment probably 3 times last night while Tyler was pushing me. Said, you can
Yeah, I
make the
mean,
move, Tyler. Just don't.
Yeah.
Rob
If
better
you're
not
gonna
win.
wreck me, win the race. That was what TK said. If you
yeah,
wreck me, win the race.
yeah. If you wreck your teammate, you better damn well win that race.
All right, TK. You're up
Let's
next.
see.
Let's do this.
All right. I've
Give
never
me
wanted TK to get
safer.
Kevin more than this.
Yeah,
Kevin or Michael Bennett would be hilarious.
Oh,
We're
Parker
going
Jones,
back to. Oh, wait,
Let's
wait,
go.
wait.
Oh,
It was
almost
close.
Bennett. That would have
It
been
was almost
hilarious.
It was almost Bennett.
Well, Parker's pretty easy. Just like last year,
Got
find your
layup with
teammates, right?
teammates, man.
I mean,
Yeah.
find your teammate. Like last year, I pushed Parker to the win to get him in the playoffs. I mean, he communicates well. He can't burn his tires here off, so he don't have to worry about that, right?
Hey,
So
we're working on that this season. All right.
he had pretty good communication. He got stuck in a situation where he had nowhere to go and got wrecked last night. He does well communicating with the guys and stuff, and as long as he can find one of us or a couple of us, I think he'll be just fine. He's proven he can win at these tracks before. Yeah,
He is starting shotgun on the field in the second line, 34th.
that's where his communication is going to have to be pretty
On
good
point.
and avoid
Yep.
the chaos that's going to happen back there.
All right. Who?
I hope Nick's gonna get a hard one now. We all
Yeah.
got easy
Yeah,
ones.
we got layups.
Dude,
I'm gonna get
yeah.
someone I have no idea about and just have to just bullshit my way talking through them. All
I kind of wish I got Bennett.
He's gonna get,
right.
come on, give him
Right.
Dakota Floyd.
Yeah,
He's gonna get
Oh!
he's gonna get a teammate. That's tough. It's a teammate wheel.
I think
dude.
I think
That's
we're all gonna have to respin this wheel again.
That's
I think we're
fine.
gonna
We
do
can, we
let's
two.
can,
do
we
two.
can,
I
we can
think we
keep,
can
we
do
can
two.
keep this going. That's fine. All right. So Alex Fouget Barube, he is one of our Canadian drivers now, and yes, he is one of my teammates. I think Alex is going to win this because of a couple of reasons. One is he has a great team behind him. He's learned a lot over the last couple of years of how to work with different teammates. He's gotten a lot better at the drafting tracks. He was very frustrated after the clash. However, I think he used that for fuel last night, whereas, as we were talking about before, he was in the lead coming into turn 3 and 4 in the final lap of his duel. Unfortunate circumstances of super speedways obviously had him got half spun. He collected it, which by the way was a fantastic save. Great hands from him driving that car. Ended up getting second. So I think it's a great foreshadowing for Alex. He has had multiple opportunities to win at super speedways, like Justice alluded to before. I believe it was Talladega. Justice and Alex worked really well together for like those last couple laps, and I think Alex got second or third on that race. But Alex has come a long way on the super speedways. If you ask him, he'll say that he hates them. But I think we're coming up on Alex finally winning a super speedway, and maybe it'll be maybe next week. Oh, by the way, if no one knows this already, I correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's $100 to win that race.
Are you
You
sponsoring the
tell
race?
us, Mr.
I am,
Sponsor.
I
was
am,
like, you're
I
the
am, I
sponsor.
am sponsoring it, but I think it's $100. I believe it's $100. I think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
typically that's what it is
Yeah.
to win that race.
So, all right. So we are going to do this again because
I have extra motivation. I haven't worked all week. I'm going.
Look,
I'll
look
be right back. I'm
at
going
Yeah.
to
he,
fix,
he
baby.
needs the cash.
Hey, TK,
DK's
DK's
money
gonna-
racing again.
He's gonna
we
pay
are
his iRacing
we're gonna do this
subscription.
again. I'm just gonna keep the wheel up and we can just talk
Yeah.
through it here. So let's do this again. All right. So you guys
Justice
want
goes first again.
to go
Yeah.
in
Let's
order like we
we'll
did
go
it?
in the same order.
Same order.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
All
same
right.
order.
Justice first. Watch, he's gonna
He's
get
gonna
fucking.
get,
He's gonna get
me or
Jacob.
somebody.
He's gonna TK.
He's gonna get
Get myself.
himself.
He's gonna get
He's gonna get
himself.
himself, and we're respinning this immediately. Do you want to hype
You
yourself
suck.
up before I do it?
No.
Okay.
I know why I'm
I
gonna
think
win.
Justice Murphy will win
It's
because
he's
he
all
got
about
wrecked.
bugs.
No.
Yeah,
Oh,
all right.
Oh, there it is.
Jeremy Burns.
Oh, Burns is gonna love having to listen to this after.
There's a lot of
Oh.
fans over there. Be
A
careful.
lot of fans. I mentioned Mama Burns last week, so and got called out for it. But yeah, I mean, typical Burns. You can't really count him out anywhere. Kind of as Nick said, you've got some good teammates over there between Caleb, Rob, and then their alliance with Nick and the boys. So you got some good drafters. Bennett really likes to draft. You know, I know Alex says he doesn't, but Alex is better at than he gives himself credit for. So would not be surprised at all to see that 9 machine in victory lane, as unfortunate as it may be at times.
All right. Thank you, Justice. That was very kind words. I believe it was the most kind words Burns have ever received from yourself. So let's go over. Let's go.
No,
It's,
God.
no. All jokes. All jokes.
Yeah.
All jokes. Let's go over
We
to.
like everybody.
Oh,
Oh, I get his
my
teammate, dude.
Oh,
God.
yeah,
Yeah,
almost.
Mr. Gilbert,
EXR glazing continues.
the forgotten the forgotten member of EXR, the guy that everybody kind of just he's just there. You don't think about Caleb, from a week in week out basis. He's usually the kind of the odd man out in that team because all the hype goes to Burns or Rob. But Caleb's quick, especially you get to those 1.5-mile tracks. You can never count him out. And then with the super speedways, I mean, every time you look up, he's up front with his teammates. Those 3 guys work extremely well together. So I think Caleb's got a good shot at this, just like everybody else. I think he gets to work with Burns, and then I think actually they all start in a line, if I'm not mistaken. Let me look at the starting lineup. It's
pretty
yeah,
close.
Burns. Yeah, Burns, Rob start 10th and 11th, then Caleb starts 15th. I mean, so they're really close to one another. So I wouldn't be at all surprised if you look up front and see those guys up there. Caleb's up there with them, and then play your cards right, see what happens. I think Caleb's got a pretty good shot to be the lead EXR car this week or next week.
Thank you,
I think
Trevor.
out of the field, Caleb may be one of the best pushers out there.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
It
All
used to be him and Kevin. Kevin's lost a little bit in this
All
car.
right, TK.
Sam Taylor.
Schaefer.
Oh,
Chris
Schaefer.
Schaefer.
All right.
Hey,
There
All right,
we go.
good one.
fellow dirt driver.
Schaefer, you want to know how to get your first win? You push
Wreck-
like hell and you don't wreck anybody. You gotta know when to be aggressive and know when to calm down a little bit. Sometimes you can push and you can get people to front, but sometimes it causes the big one. We gotta calm down when we need to and push like hell when we need to. He can get up there. He's proven he can get up there at these super speedways, right? He's just got to finish the job, keep the car clean.
I'd agree with that. Schaefer is a very underrated pusher. But to TK's point, he sometimes forgets not to push when he doesn't need to.
Yeah.
But I think Schaefer could be a really good underdog story for this season.
Mix the aggression and laying off. You got to find the perfect middle ground, and he can get it done. I think he was close at Atlanta last year, wasn't he? Until he wrecked on the last
I
lap.
think he was in second at the time
Yeah.
when it happened. Yeah, he was very close. Some of the super speedways he has, like you said, he has the speed and he has the talent to do it. Just gotta put it all together.
Hey,
Mm-hmm.
on a side note, Nick, before you spin
Yeah.
this with 3 to go, the cutoff line here for this first
Yeah.
duel of NASCAR is getting pretty spicy.
Oh yeah.
TK may go nuts in about 3 laps.
Yeah. I'm.
Ty Dillon's gonna win.
All right. Last one. Give me a layup. Carter
Well,
Lynn's. This is gonna be easy.
he's got to win
Oh,
his.
this is
He's got to win his rivalry against his ISP.
all right.
brother.
I was just gonna say, Carter, you have a great shot to win it. You know, you're up there, up front all yesterday in our duel. You got one enemy right now, and it's your internet. If you can figure that out, I have no doubt in my mind that you'll be up there. When your internet was solid, it was only solid for like a few laps when you were around me. You seem like a great pusher. You know where to put your car in certain situations. I know you have a great team behind you as well. I believe he's also with Kevin's team, and SRT. So I think he has a great shot to do it. He has a great team behind him. But yeah, fix your internet. I would tell you how I fix mine, but I don't know. It just randomly fixed itself.
It just start.
I
started
asked
being
I
good.
asked Caleb for you of how he fixed his, and he said his was a memory issue or
Yeah, it was
gigabyte
a
issue or
RAM
whatever
issue.
it was, or
Mhm.
RAM
Make sure
issue.
your
Sorry.
XMP in your BIOS is on.
Yeah,
Believe me.
I believe it was Santa or Morgan Cook sent you a very valuable link. Use that if you need any help at all. Message one of us, just not me, because I have no idea how I fixed my internet. But hope all the luck with you next Wednesday, and hope you're a solid non-blinker on Wednesday. All right, with that, I know you guys are kind of focused on the actual IRL duel
But
2 to go,
they're on one.
but
They're on the 1 to go right now.
oh,
They
I'm
just
still on
Brother,
2.
how far behind are you? They're on the backstretch,
I
final lap
use
right
I
here.
Oh my
use
gosh,
Hulu,
what?
so I'm usually behind
I'm on
everybody for.
YouTube TV and I'm way behind.
I'm on
Oh,
YouTube TV.
Hey, calm down.
Trevor,
You're not even.
Trevor.
I'm not
I didn't
even
say
there
it.
yet. So anyway, I'm gonna
Yeah.
talk while I'm watching this at the same time. We're gonna start our preview of the Daytona 250. I know we just spun the wheel with our guys and predictions for that. So we're gonna go with what is the best strat to staying clean in your mind? Is it staying in the back? Is it staying up front? Is it just go staying on the bottom? Like I love being on the bottom because I think I can just get out of the way of anything that may happen in front. So in your guys' mind, what's the best strat of staying clean and being able just to
Let's go.
survive to the end?
I think it's wherever you're comfortable, right? Because everybody's got their level of comfortability on a super speedway. Um, for me, depending on what the field is doing, I kind of like to ride around at the back for a little bit. And then throughout the course of a run, I'll try to work my way to the front just to get an idea, um, and just work on placing my car in the right spots. But I kind of like to be at the back, let the things unfold in front of me, give yourself a chance to get out of the way. Uh, but if you start at the front of the field, I think the best bet. I mean, they always say if you're at the front, chances are the wreck's going to be behind you. But how many times have we seen the wreck start at the front of the field with some guys just making a block or trying to push a little bit too hard? Um, so I think kind of where I'm starting, I start in the middle of the field in 12th. Um, it's just going to come down to the first couple of laps. If I can move my way forward, I think I'll just kind of cruise on the bottom line. If not, then my plan is to go to the back, hook up with my teammates back there, and just kind of ride around until it's time to move.
I think it's a great point. The start is what can dictate really anything because after the first lap or two, it could be, hey, the first five guys on the bottom are clear of the top, or it could be the first five guys on the top are clear of the bottom, and they just flop lanes, you know. So it's unpredictable. It just literally depends on how close everybody is on the drop of that green flag on in which line to get them going. So be interesting.
Yeah, I think something you led into there, Baldy, is being around your teammates. Is typically the thing that I say. We were having discussion earlier in one of the Discord channels, and one of the things that came up is it's hard to see, right? When you're third, fourth, fifth, sixth in line, it's hard to see. So if you have teammates around you, and say your teammates the second car in line or the third car in line, and you kind of trust their judgment, and kind of can base it off of them, then you don't need visual. You just stay on them and you're good to go. Um, so yeah, there. I think that predicting the chaos, you can definitely watch it and kind of know what's going on. You can go, hey, this guy's about to cause this. Literally, Matt 2 laps before it happened last night said this guy is about to wreck this guy,
I remember that.
and
And it happened.
literally happened
Yep.
2 laps later. So having guys that can predict the chaos, you kind of get to know what's going to happen around these things. So preparing yourself for that is the best way to stay safe.
TK, before you go, I want to ask you a question. Who is Bubba Sushin? The
He's getting
haters?
booed out
The
there. He
haters
gets
of what?
booed
It's
all
a
the time. What do
non-points
you mean?
paying
He
race,
gets
and this
booed.
basically
He gets
means
booed
nothing.
everywhere he goes. Come on.
Oh,
He just got 10 points for a
Yeah.
non-points paying race, brother. I mean,
wait, they get points for this?
Yeah,
they
they
get
get 10 points
points.
for that.
10,
Oh,
yeah,
since when?
first through 10th last year, first through 10th. So
Oh,
they were
okay.
showing
Well,
that, right?
sorry,
Because
Bubba.
Larson lost the championship, the regular season championship by what, 7 points?
Yeah.
Reddick won it. Reddick got 10. Larson got 2.
Can we
Oh.
can we just appreciate Ty Dillon's save, by the way?
Oh,
Yeah, that was a
that
great
was
save.
crazy. That was
Because
crazy.
that could have really
That could
just
have
changed
really piled the
everything.
entire duel up.
Good job to Ty Dillon for the save.
But I'll get us back on track here with my sentiment on Justice alluded to it a little bit there. Um but it's situational. You got to know where your teammates are, right? Knowing your teammates, like having your teammates next to you, they can see things that you can't see, but also it's in your head. Like you got to be situational aware. Like you got to know what's going on the track, no matter what. Like I know it's just drafting and stuff like that, so you think you just follow the guy in front of you, but you really don't. You're constantly thinking like, do I move up here? Do I go here? Is this guy gonna wreck? Do I need a bailout? Should I try to push this forward? Should I save fuel? It's you're constantly changing the strategy as the race goes on. I mean, I know some people stay in the back, some people stay in the front. I don't care about that, right? I will go with how the race goes. It's just kind of flowing around, and like if I'm starting up front, right? Because I won the duel, and so I'll probably stay up front for a little bit. I'll try to stay up there. If I don't like it, and I feel like, hey, and my teammates get away from me or something, I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna back out of this in my car. If I like it and I'm just saving fuel up there, we're just riding around for a while, I'll stay up there, right? It's so situational. Like, if I have somebody pushing me, I don't like to push me, I'm getting out of there. I don't want you to wreck me, not this early or not this late. You try to do the best strategy you think in your head to make it to the end.
Good points. Good points.
Ever
Uh,
changing.
so next on our list is something that our league, I think, it started probably before any other league. I know other leagues have adopted this, but our choose cone. How much more do you think the choose cone matters on a super speedway than say like a mile and a half or a short track? Or do you think the choose cone matters less at a super speedway compared to the other track types that we go to? I would say I think you'll see guys utilize the choose cone to what we want it to be more as super speedways, just because of I think it's more of a predictability type of thing of what lane has less people rather than uh, what lane is better for say like the corner, right? Because if hey, there's three teammates down below, only one guy went up top, all right, cool, I'm going up top obviously because I get to gain some spots, or you see some people sacrifice a lane or two to be with their teammates so they can count them down coming to the restart, which I know a couple of guys did it. I think it was in duel 1 or 2 where the top three all took the bottom because they wanted to count everybody down so they could get that jump on the rest of the field.
Yeah, the choose cone. I think it comes down to at what point in the race you're at. Like, I think everybody obviously wants to be near their teammates when they're choosing, right? So you're gonna base your choose based on where your teammates are and what gets you closest to them. Throughout the course of the race, it's not that big of a deal. The first half of the race, but you get down to that last quarter. Um, I'll take duel one for example. Justice and I, we're counting cars, trying to figure out what was best for TK, Harrison, and Jacob to do, and it worked out perfectly for them. And that's the
Yeah.
example of what makes the choose cone so good is that those three were able to get together on that final choose, and it won them the race, right? It won
It,
TK the race. It got Tyler and Jacob right there with him, and gives them a great starting spot for Wednesday. So I don't. It's great, but I think it's in the moment kind of depends on how instrumental it is, right? Because the choose cone on say lap 10 or after the stage isn't going to really be as important as the choose cone is with 10 to go. So I don't know. It's going to be fun to watch. That's for sure. It's the mental math of it all, and the communication is going to be fun to kind of listen to throughout the course of the race. And you'll have a good idea early on chooses kind of who's going with who, and it can kind of set you up to make decisions later on in the race.
I made it in my notes. It matters if you can get closer to your teammates. Um, After about the 10th row, it doesn't matter. The biggest thing that I will preach to every one of my guys on Wednesday is don't get a penalty choosing in 28th place. It's the dumbest thing you can do. Just make your decision early, go below the line, go above it, but don't get a penalty choosing for 28th place. It's not worth it. Um, but yeah, I mean, like Trevor kind of alluded to there, we were counting guys last night. Um, I was in TK and them's ear the whole time on that last choose. I said, "There's no way they're gonna let y'all all three
yeah.
go in the same lane." I said, "They're gonna split you, so just be prepared. You may have to do a little teammate stint if you want to get all three together." And then they they let them all three choose together. So some of that comes into play too, right? I would imagine if Nick and Rob and them are in that same situation, and we're say it's Nick, me, Rob, TK, while it's cool to maybe go, okay, I can push Rob, it's also cool to just control the race, right? So you may have Rob take low and Nick take high, and just know that you forced me and TK's hand, right? Either me
Mhm.
and TK have to split or go together. You guys still get to control the race. So it's interesting. You have a lot of choices up front, particularly late. But as you get further back in the field, especially the super speedways, it literally doesn't matter. Just don't take a dumb penalty.
I feel like
Yeah,
that's
I was just gonna
the
say, not to, if you watch this or listen to this, don't mean this to make fun of you. You're the only one I know have done it so far. You did it twice. It was either Justin Ritchie or Dakota Floyd. I forgot who it was. In duel number one, absolutely destroyed the
I
choose
think it was
cone.
Floyd. I
Floyd.
think it was Floyd.
Okay.
He
I
Uh,
took the
think
penalty both
he he
times, and I
he
did the
did he
EOL.
did he did, and hey,
it's rookies.
it's a great learning curve for the new guys because I don't know if he's ever had a choose code in other leagues, but you obviously he's a rookie for this series, so it's we will post the choose cone where the location is prior to every race that morning for people to know. And to be fair, the choose cone does come up quick sometimes. I will give credit to all the guys. Usually we have some checkups in the back of the field. I didn't see that at all yesterday. So hats off to everybody with choosing correctly. And yeah, hopefully it continues that way. But yeah, the choose cone can definitely cause some issues if you hit it.
I was gonna make fun of Rob because I think Rob hit it in the 250 last year and took
Correct.
him out of a
He
chance to win
he
it.
Yep.
did,
So
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think not saying it doesn't matter is false. It definitely matters. I mean, you look at Duel One. If me, Tyler, and Jacob don't get hooked up there on the outside lane, do we win the race? Do one of us win the race, or does Rob win the race? Morgan might have won. You never know, right? Um, that was the choose cone was a big decider in who wins the race there at Duel One at towards the end of the race. So it does matter more at the end of the race than the beginning, like Trevor said. But it's also just a great tool to help you find teammates. Uh, it was alluded to earlier too, but like other tracks, you're going for either track position or you're better on the top, so you want to choose the high side. Like this track, you use it for to find your teammates. Most of the time, it splits pretty evenly, so you're not really gaining or losing rolls, maybe one or two at a time if you can. Uh, so really, I mean, just yeah, don't make the mistake and find your teammates really, or split, split teammates. If you're 3v1 and you got to figure out how am I going to keep these guys from not being together and make this a 2v1 instead of a 3v1 kind of thing.
Split them if you have to. Not a bad idea. So, leaning into another super speedway package here, it's drafting, and essentially to get more in depth on it, how hard should you push? How hard pushing is bad? Is it good? Like the how much is too much, really? So I think we saw it yesterday a little bit with guys pushing the pusher. It's there's two rules: don't push the pusher and don't push me in the corner, right? So there's a couple of instances when that happened because going 180, 190 at this track, even though in the car it feels like kind of slow motion at times, but when you're packed up and you're just bumper to bumper the entire time, a little slight hand movement here or there, like to think that, because you, like you guys were saying before, you cannot see out of your windshield. You can only see the car in front of you, and you're dictating your lane by the car in front of you. If the car in front of you swerves a little bit, you're like, oh, okay, I have to swerve too. I may be too close to the bottom. I may be getting too high to the car up top above me. And we saw it yesterday. A car swerved up a little, like not even half a lane, and he got turned because they were bumper to bumper the entire time. So, do you guys have some sort of rule or just mindset of when you guys are pushing other guys?
Yeah, I'll start that one. So I made it a point here that is not just about the pushing hard, but like actually racing hard, right? Which is don't push early unless you can get a stage win. There's no point wasting a fast spread. But as far as actually pushing the car, something that I put in chat for the entire league to see earlier. The second car in line can push. The job of the third car is to keep him within the bubble, right? Everybody probably listens to it kind of can understand this, but I'll explain it a little bit. If two cars are back to back and there's no help from behind, the front car has to drag the brake, or the second car can't break the air bubble. There's like a compressed air bubble at the back bumper from the spoiler. So you can't break that bubble. So the job of the third car is to either give the car the slight bumper tap or to give them just enough of an arrow push to get them through the bubble to the bumper of the lead car. That's the job of the third car. At that point, everybody else, a quarter car or an eighth of a car, something like that, off of the car in front of you, and you optimize speed as long as you stay in a line, right? As Nick alluded to, one of the things we saw yesterday was the pusher getting pushed and the push in the corner, and it was both things happened at once and resulted in a caution in Duel 2. It can happen. That's the whole point of communication. You talk about how important it is to be with your teammates. You don't want to be over the radio. I mean, you can flood the race comms for the entire league to hear if you're on there going, "Hey, McGeorge, we're pulling up on this guy," or "Hey, Justin Ritchie, we're pulling up on this guy," and you're not in a team chat with them, right? That's where you have the trust. You're in a Discord with guys that you know. It's easy for me to go, "TK, I'm about to hit this guy's bumper. Get off of mine." Backs out of it, I can get to the guy's bumper, make the push, and you know not to push the pusher at that point. So, yeah, you just have to know who you're around, know who you can trust. But yeah, it's going to be very important. You're going to see a lot of it, though. I have a feeling.
I think the most most words, the common words that we were using in our team chat on Wednesday night was checking up here, checking up in a few, checking up in a
Yeah,
few.
yeah,
Like that,
Yeah.
literally.
that's all
Like
it is.
being so like if you have guys up front and then guys in the back, you guys are pretty split up. Just announcing, hey, we're checking up here. Then the guys in the back know, oh shoot, okay. Then it doesn't catch them by surprise, and maybe they can make a run to get up there to you, or you know, that's part of the communication thing that's big. Um, Another thing about bumping or drafting, you got to manage your temps. We saw that last night too, right? Lap two, duel two, Matt Robinson had no
Matthew,
idea,
it's
and
gotta cycle water, brother.
yeah, got to cycle water through it early in the race, and he found out the hard way. And it blew up on him. Uh, if you push too hard for too long, and it's gonna blow up on you. You got to manage your tips, and if your tips get too hot and you have to back off, your line's gonna die, and that the next line is just gonna just run by you like you're on jack stands. So it's just a situational thing. Like almost everything to me is situational at super speedways. Like I can push hard, but I got to manage my tips and make sure that I'm not having to let off too much, and then we're not making any ground. Uh, Also, you just don't want to blow up. It's
I think I think it comes down to who you're around too, right? Obviously, guys are going to be more comfortable with certain people. You can get away with a lot in these cars in terms of how you push, draft, whatever. They can take a beating. The issue is they move a lot. Um, and like Nick said, we saw it in Duel 2 where you just kind of get shuffled up the track a little bit, and then the car behind you is getting shoved, and next thing you know, you're getting turned in the corner. Um, so it comes down to the comfortability of who you're around. I think kind of dictates on how hard you're gonna do something. And the communication, like TK was saying, is also key. And just communicating what's going on around you guys. Matt called out a wreck that happened 2 laps later. Um, and another thing is going to be key, and I don't. None of y'all touched on it. The side draft, getting if you're in a
smart.
line, getting that third car in your line. If you're with a team, to side draft somebody to check up the inside line, the outside line, whatever it may be. That's going to be instrumental to helping a cause to get a win. Is who can execute the side draft well, because it's like throwing an anchor out of these cars when you get side drafted. I mean, you go from doing 193 to 183, it feels like, and you're getting blown by people. So, comfortability, how hard do you want to push, and communication is going to be the three keys to winning this race and avoiding the inevitable chaos. I mean, we all get the one fast repair, and I know everybody's goal, at least in here, is to not use it on lap 10, to save it for 10 to go when you inevitably need it. So, yeah, it's going to be fun, though. It's going to be a ton of fun.
Yeah, I think TK, I'm gonna touch on something that you said earlier. Managing attempts. Yeah, Matthew Robinson, he'll work on that definitely for the 250. But it's a lot easier to manage your temps if you're single file, because in the corners or on the straightaway you can just peek out just like half
Yep.
a car and just get some air on your nose. And it's crazy. You can be on a car bumper to bumper. You can't be on a car more than, I say, a lap and a half, 2 laps, and you're like, hey, I gotta back off you right now. And if you're double file 3 wide the entire time, you have to back off a significant amount to get your temps down. The temps go down reasonably fast, but in that amount of time, 5, 6 rows can go by you. So you have to make sure, if you are pushing, you have to let off every so often and just manage that gap, like you were also touching upon. So we're going to switch gears a little bit here, and we are now going to touch on a new series that's starting up. It's the truck series that we do Monday nights. It's our season 3. Something new that we're doing this season is we are fully broadcasted all year, also by VSpeed. Shout out to VSpeed for helping us out and doing this for us. It's awesome. They do a great job on Wednesday nights. So be sure to come out and check us out on Monday nights. Our first official race for season 3 is this Monday at Chicagoland. I believe we have about 25 to 30 guys confirmed for that race, so that'll be really exciting to kick that season off. The thing I want to touch upon a little bit before we dive too deep into the trucks is that we are doing the same playoff format as Cup Series do, like the different rounds. However, our championship round is different. We did it last season. We're doing it this season because we liked
Every
how
round
it.
really is different because they're all two.
Well, yeah,
Yep.
good point. Yeah, each round is only two races. It works the same way. The bottom four guys will get eliminated, but the final four, instead of racing it out for one race and whoever finishes on top wins the championship, we're actually going to do it two rounds. So last season worked out great. I believe Caleb was the leader at the end of the first round, but he had a little bit of a gap. I think it was only like a few points. It was between
Yeah, I don't think
him
as
and
much.
it was between him and Alex, and then Alex ended up having a great final race and jumped Caleb and ended up winning the championship because of the stage points that he got, and then obviously his final finish in position. So I think it's a little bit more added pressure on the final four to perform in back-to-back races. It's also a lot of pressure on guys if they do bad in the first race or reasonably not great. You have to go above and beyond the next race, and it's more pressure on the guy that might be leading the points going into the final race of I have to perform back-to-back races. Like it's not going to be a cakewalk, especially with the amount of talent that we have in the Truck Series this season. So it's going to be exciting. I can't wait for that to get started. I know all three of you guys will be participating in the Truck Series at some point in the season. I know TK, you're obviously a full-time guy because you're one of the admins, but I'll get your thoughts first since you're a fellow admin of how you excited for the Truck Series this season. You anything new that we're doing this season that you're looking forward to, or just the overall broadcasting of it?
I'm excited for the whole thing. I mean, having a broadcast is huge, right? Because last year, we had the struggles with that last year. And just having that committed, getting that worked out for the season is fantastic. Bravo to, I think it's you and Grant that got onto that. I apologize for that. That was really great news to hear. Being able to go back and watch the races and have people have their fans and stuff they want to watch, their families. And I think it just adds to the integrity of the league having it broadcasted, right? And it just makes it that much better. The playoff system, it was a trial run last year, and I'm pretty sure it was well received by almost everybody. I don't think I heard any bad words about it. If I did, maybe I forgot about them because I didn't want it to be not well received, right? Because it was all of our ideas, and I love the idea of having the two race final four. Um, I think it's great. It's better with just the one race. It's just you got an extra chance, right? As you saw with Alex last year, right? He would have, if we had just the one, he would have finished second. So, and then for me personally in the truck series, I just got to get better. I thought I could go into the trucks, and with the new aero update and everything, I thought I'd be fine, right? And it's different than the Cup car. It's different, and I struggled a lot last year, a lot in a lot of races with it, and I'm still in those struggles. I just need to get in the truck more often and practice more. The league's really good. There's a lot of really good drivers in the truck league, and and then when I started doing bad, I realized I was like, I can't compete with these guys right now. I need to get better with that.
Yeah, it's funny. Rob was joking the other day with one of our recruitment races. Was after the I think it was after the Vegas when he goes, Nick, these trucks, it's just racing like super speedways. I'm like, yeah, but like,
It's
do you
not. It
not
looks
see do you not see how the races are being played out, how intense it is? Like you are side by side. There's no give and take in the trucks at all. It's I think in the trucks qualifying means a lot more, track position means a lot more,
track position means
and
a lot.
and defending your position means so much more. It's not as easy as like, yeah, I'll let that guy go right on by, I'll save my shit, and then I'll get him later.
Even well,
It's not that
even
easy.
tires mean that much more. The tire wear in the trucks is a little bit more abusive than the Cup car, and that was something for me. I had to learn rather quickly. I still haven't learned. Uh, so it's just you got to manage your tires a little bit different than the Cup car. The Cup car the Cup car drives off the right front a lot. The trucks doesn't, and that's a big difference for me. Just the difference from the Cup and the trucks. I thought I'm pretty good in the Cup car. I think I'll be all right in the trucks, and just didn't give the time or the practice that I needed to, and I've seen the result of that. It's been bad. I don't think I made the playoffs one time or 2 seasons yet. So
Yeah, the lift and rotate, and you got to get it just right in the trucks. You lift too early, you're driving it off the right rear, and you can, if you fry the right rear in the truck, you're in for a long ass run until you get some new tires on it. So, yeah, excited to see where it goes. I think you boys have done a great job over there, kind of getting everything together, getting V Speed on board to kind of bring, like you say, brings a little bit more rapport maybe to the league. I would say, I don't want to say respect. The respect's there. You know, they kind of know what to expect. Cup Series has kind of lined it up, and then you guys just have kind of tailed off of that and said, "Hey, we're going to be the Cup Series. We're going to do it different." I do love the championship format. Alex made a hell of a comeback. I think it ended up being about 3 or 4 points. He cleared him by the end of the race, the second race. So I think you guys have set it up for success. It'll be fun to see. I will try to be there as full time as possible. I don't know how many road courses I can take getting my ass kicked at, so I may not participate in those. Call
There's
me
only
a
two.
typical
There's
oval
only
guy.
two.
Oh God, yeah.
I
Thank
tried to get
God.
Bathurst in there, and they wouldn't let
Thank
me.
God. So
I'm just
yeah,
kidding.
it'll be fun though. Yeah, we've got Matt joining the team. I think this season with me and TK, and we'll see who else hops in there with us. But yeah, we're gonna have to teach TK a thing or two about saving some tire.
Oh yeah.
It's
I would like
it's
to sorry, Trevor. I just have to publicly apologize to you first. Your longtime teammate and only teammates that have been with you the entire your racing career has flipped, and now Parker is with us on Monday Night Truck. So I do greatly apologize for that, but can't wait to bring on that little guy.
yeah, no, I think I'm running with Caleb again this year. I think I made 3 starts last season, and then got myself into a little bit of a voice comms situation and was told I needed to shut up, and decided to just take myself out, and that way I couldn't get myself in some more trouble. There's a little bit of chaos at the start of the season, to say the least, um, with some people just, I think, being a little bit over aggressive. But the trucks are a ton of fun. I mean, they drive completely different. They're so momentum based at pretty much any mile and a half you go to. It's like racing a super speedway. I mean, they're just so much fun. And I'm looking forward to getting back out there and racing with you guys. My plan is to be full time, um, and make every race, and we'll see what happens. I loved racing those things. I haven't run a full season in those in probably a year and a half. So definitely looking forward to getting out there with you guys on Mondays. And to Justice's sentiment there, I really appreciate the work that you and TK and I think Matt and the rest of the admin crew have done.
Not Maddie,
Not Matt.
Grant,
Who's
and
the other?
Caleb.
Grant. Yeah,
Grant
sorry,
Caleb.
Grant and Caleb. I was getting there. It's been like I said. I kind of excused myself from the truck series and wasn't haven't kept up with it. So but y'all have done a great job building it to from kind of a thought. We've tried to run Monday night things in RR throughout the course of its existence, and nothing's really stuck. But y'all took the idea of the truck series and y'all have turned it into what it is now. And now we're getting covered by V Speed, who's one of the premier broadcasters in the iRacing community. And so that's, I mean, that's just massive growth that y'all have been able to achieve in the short existence. I think this is season 3.
It is.
So I mean that's just incredible, with recruitment, retention, and dealing with all the kind of the drama from season 1 and season 2 to what y'all have got now. It's going to be a ton of fun. And if you're a fan of what you see Wednesday nights, you're definitely going to want to tune in on Monday nights because the racing's going to be just as intense and just as good.
We both TK and I both appreciate the very kind words from both you guys,
Oh yeah.
but we will say we can't have the truck series without the support of the rest of the league and guys showing up and wanting to be there to race. So thanks to you guys for showing your support for the Truck Series, and can't wait to kick that off on Monday. I know not too much to talk about the Truck Series, unfortunately, because season hasn't happened yet. So I'm sure next week when the next podcast episode drops, we'll have a lot more to talk about the Truck Series. I know next week we're going to be starting doing guests after our 250, so be on the lookout for that. Hopefully we're going to try to get a guest every single week. I know we have a bunch of guys that are interested in doing so, so uh, they'll be notified pretty soon. We'll make a schedule, and they'll be coming on one-on-one. I know a bunch of guys have a lot of things they want to say, get their voice heard. So we'll make sure we get those talkative guys out here first. So with that being said, it was a great
Side note
episode.
though,
Oh yeah.
with the truck schedule,
Mhm.
do you think first race of the year we're going to Daytona? We are not going to Daytona. We will
Going to
be at
mini Daytona.
Chicagoland.
It's
It's a mini Daytona.
as Robert would say, it's a super speedway in the trucks.
Hey,
It's
and to
something a little different.
piggyback on what Nick said, in terms of the league, I don't think the guys get enough credit for showing up week in, week out, especially having a 2 month vacation at the end of the year and not a lot happening. The retention of the guys is fantastic, and I think it shows kind of the community that we've built here in RR. And I think you're going to see it a lot with the guests that come on. I know we give each other a really hard time, and the people at home don't see the Discord. I think the fans that tune in on Wednesdays they don't get to see the Discord and how hard of a time we give each other.
They may not be fans if they saw the Discord.
Yeah, they may not be fans, but
Yeah.
everybody does a really good job of taking it on the chin, and we get along really well. And so I think this season is going to be a lot of fun, both Wednesdays and Mondays. And the guests, I can't wait to have guests on. I think it's going to really kind of make this podcast a ton of fun when we get those people on here.
Yeah, we do all of our drivers and members of the league. They're very interactive in the Discord, and I do have to say, a lot of them are very interactive on social media. They are very big promoters of our league. I know majority of our guys that are here now are from friends of people that were previously in here from a year or 2 years ago, just because of the promotion that everybody does. So big shout out to everybody in the league for making RR what it is and continuing to hopefully make sure this stays where it is. So big shout out to
This,
everybody
is this year two? Like, is this
with
actually year
with
two
racing
of
for Evolution.
RR?
So it's
You're coming up on year
tech.
3
Yeah,
in March.
it's year 3 because we did the first. No, it should be
Oh,
year 4. It's coming up on year 4. No, because the first year we did 2 seasons, and this is season 5 for the Cup
year
Series.
3. We did, so
3.
we had the
We did too
10,
many.
10
That's what
race
it
short.
was. That's right.
We had 10 race
You're
short,
right.
and then we basically ran. So this is the third season of following the calendar,
Yeah.
because season
Mhm.
2 ran from like 2 weeks at the end of season 1 all the way to the Daytona 5. Like, we crowned a champion and then raced Daytona the next week
Yes,
for
that's right.
season
We
3.
didn't have an
Yeah.
off season.
There's
Yeah.
0 off season between
So
2 and
it's
3.
it's year 4 for the main core of racing with each other, but I think it's just right. It's year 3
Yes.
of the actual existence of RR,
Of our,
which
Yes.
and I think in iRacing leagues is pretty damn good that you've retained a league for that long.
And the number set. I mean, we had 35 people show up for the duels alone.
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
you're starting to
that
get
number's
into
only
that.
going to grow.
You're
Mhm.
starting to get into that realm where there's a couple of leagues everybody kind of knows about. When you get on the service, as you get around in officials, you got like OBRL, that's been around forever. You know, they consistently have 60, 70 guys. You have Elite has those same kind of numbers, and then you're starting to push that yourself as you get into the year 3, 4, 5. If you can start retaining more and more, I don't know that I think the Cup admin, we've said that we don't particularly want to retain 60 drivers in one series, but having it across 2, between trucks and Cup would be really nice.
That'd be awesome to have that many people. And we are growing. I think in the Discord we have like
Mhm.
50 something currently along both those series. But with that being said, thank you all 3 of you guys for showing up today. It was a great episode. We do have to shout out again our main sponsor, our only sponsor that's been with us through the actual existence of RR, and that's Chapman Environmental Services. Chapman is your source for environmental solutions. Chapman provides integrated environmental management and consulting services. You can find them on chapmanes.com. That's chapmanes.com. So, boys, thank you yet again. We will have a guest on next week. Can't wait to do that. I know the IRL duels are going on right now. We're going to go all probably watch the second duel together. So, with that being said, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We appreciate you. Thank you for your support. And we will see you in Victory Lane. Good night.